bar and stuff in here. So, you know, she should just watch movies of people curing those diseases and get into the college and talk to us on Twitter and stuff like that. And then when she's moving along, then we can discuss polygamy with her. You know? Now what is so all-fired goddamn funny about that?
About polygamy? Well, it's very funny when you put it on stage in the Book of Mormon.
Oh, right.
Tracy Oliver is joining us.
Oh, nice.
Hello, Tracy Oliver.
Oh, Michael, I think your camera moved or something because you're sitting in the same, I think you're sitting in the same place, but I couldn't see you. There you go.
I'm just kind of getting my prayers up here and
Yeah, good. I think you should say the prayers tonight because Barb is cooking. Do you notice that you notice what she's doing? Can you see her on the screen?
I didn't know that she's cooking. It looks like she's pacing back and forth.
No, that's her kitchen.
So, but Poppy's here. She's right back there with the banana.
I realize that I do something funny with Greg that Michael does. Who's that thing behind you, Michael?
It's Poppy.
Poppy? Oh, who's there? Who is it? We have to figure out that Poppy Galore. She's really fun.
Poppy Galore.
She's our guest.
Poppy.
We just changed,
I'm sorry.
we changed your name to Poppy Galore.
Hi, Poppy.
Hello, everybody there?
We are here, Tracy. Is that you? Who's that saying hello?
Yes, me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, Tracy.
I got a new phone. Hi.
Hiya.
Got your phone. Good. I hope it's a good phone.
It's the touch screen.
Touch screen. Oh, yeah, like a smartphone, huh?
Yeah.
And you do Twitter on it?
I can't really do it right now because it's not activated.
Oh, yeah, but you'll be able to do things on it.
Well, good.
Okay, so.
Well, Michael, let us know when you're ready to say the first prayers.
Okay, is that, you want to do, which is first? I forgot. Gravitational strengthening?
Let's do the continuous cleansing.
Okay. I could start. You want to get right into it?
You guys want to start? We could start as far as I'm concerned.
Sure. Got it right here.
Okay. All right.
I got my finger out and it's ready to wiggle.
Okay. Where did you get it out of?
Good question.
Come on. That's a sacrilege.
Embarrassing but
Okay, here we
good.
go. All seriousness now. Continuous cleansing. All level immunity prayers. These prayers aren't things you say, they're things you do. So, when I get my signal, all my bodies are free of pathology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All my bodies are free of immune dysfunction.
Yes.
I've installed all necessary immunological shields.
Yes.
Yes. All my God connectors are in.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. I'm installing the reflex to give love and empowerment.
Yep.
Yes.
I attract warm, happy feelings in others.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm merging my results bodies with and choose some people.
Okay.
And I'm removing and installing the right basket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm on the best side of my highest possible dimension.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm removing all tendencies in the world to solve problems with violence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm removing all disturbances from the emotional bodies of everyone in the world.
Yes.
I'm protecting myself and my people from incipient catastrophe.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm utilizing the loving, world-shaping, and God-given intentions that carry from faith to life.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm causing my career and those of the people I love to be what God intends.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm attracting increased capacity in myself and my group to accept power and future.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a lot of background noise.
Oh, Barb, go on mute. Scrape, scrape. Thank you, Barb.
My particle attributes are in balance and full strength to succeed at God's work.
Yep.
Yes.
All my bodies are in God.
Yes.
All my bodies are one rainbow.
Yes.
Yep.
I am free.
Yes.
I am now as happy as I have ever been.
Yes.
Yes.
And that concludes the continuous cleansing test. Yes.
Now, does anybody feel any different after saying that prayer?
I always feel more sober and real and grounded and present.
What about Fanny? Relax? How about Alejandra?
Same. Happy and relaxed.
How about Karen?
Grateful.
Grateful? Okay.
Yeah.
And Tracy, what about you? You feel any different?
No, not really.
What about Michael? How do you feel?
Saying these prayers makes me feel empowered because I feel like the words are full of energy and I take that energy in as I read.
Okay. So you feel more energy.
More energy and not just any energy, but the intent of the prayers actually have their effect on me. I actually feel the things that I'm saying.
I feel very connected to the source of things. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens when I see them. I feel more connected.
Yeah.
Poppy, do you want to join us? Do you want to say anything?
Oh, Poppy, right. Hi, Poppy. Oh, do you feel any different?
Yeah, I feel more grounded.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was thinking that it might be good to talk a little bit about what we've been tweeting about having a significant other. And I was wondering, Michael, if you have any, like, you know, it's a very big area, and I'd like to hear what you specifically think would be good to, like, talk about first, anyway. I mean, it can always evolve into other things, but like, where are we in that discussion, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, where I'm at is, I took to heart what you and a couple people are saying about getting out of our heads, getting more into a deeper place and look for cures as opposed to making intellectual arguments. And I did some self-reflection and realized that I was very much into intellectual argument, into intellectual argument. And so right now where I'm at with that is I'm searching for letting go of the intellectual argument, although I don't feel that I've changed my opinion. And I'm looking for how I can find some cures and better myself rather than propounding my viewpoints. And that's where I'm at. So I'm not quite sure I'm not sure that I have an agenda for today.
Well, have you gone about finding cures, and if so, how did you go about it? What in the world is that noise?
Not in Australia.
I was distracted by the airplane or something. To be honest, I'm going to be really honest with you. It was challenging for me to let go of the intellect. I feel like I'm on the edge of the cliff and I'm not quite wanting to go into the feeling place. And so I haven't gone into it yet.
Oh, okay.
True. But I lost some interest in my intellectual arguments, and I'm sort of standing at the abyss. And
I see.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you want to, were you in the meeting when we talked about use of the bodies? If not, you should watch that video we did just about a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago maybe. Use of and balancing your bodies, the mental body and emotional and so forth, because if you're using your mental body in terms of feelings, going into your feelings, you have feelings, and if you're going into your feelings, you're like using your mental body to try to figure out feelings.
Well, good show, Greg, because I was going to invite people to suggest things, and you just, spontaneously suggested something. By the way, Michael, 2 things. One is, do you have a pencil and paper to write down their suggestions?
Okay, yeah, I'll get it.
And also, would you mind sitting closer or bringing the camera over to you where you are sitting so that we can see your lovely face while we're all chatting about this most interesting subject.
Yes.
So what Michael is asking for is suggestions for lessons. And Greg suggested a movie, which is a lesson. And the movie, by the way, is embedded on the page for the lesson. Like Franny you'll have to tell him what page you embedded the movie on, because.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it was on skill 5, use and protection of your bodies.
Yeah, it's on the actual skill.
Okay.
Okay.
It's on the page of the lesson, not the preview.
Well, we don't really use the preview page as much, so the lesson pages are where you always go, Mike. So, okay, so one is use and protection of your bodies. There's a movie on that page. So watch that movie.
Okay.
And while you're watching it, you can look at the titles of lessons and test through them and see if you find anything else to do. Really, see, what you were saying about like being poised on the abyss and not finding cures, this is the way we all are. Like, that's why we have this, we have like procedures for everything. This is like a hospital. Actually, what we do is very much like Western medicine. You know, it's checklists and procedures, and like when you open up one of the lessons, what you get is an explanation and then a set of instructions, and then you're supposed to take it farther than the suggestions tell you. Like they tell you like 10 things to test, and each one of those could get you, like, jog your mental processes to, you know, think of like a bunch more things to test about that particular one command. So you just test everything. Like, I made a movie with Anna today where we did that, you know, and I was saying to her it was good that she had me there because people just get a signal on something. Like, she got a signal on negative beingness, and like she didn't think to ask, is it my negative beingness? And she got a no on that. So then she got, is it somebody else's? And she got a yes. And what happened is, then we started talking about how she picks people. She's not a negative beingness, but she picks people who are.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent a little time talking about that. But you know, she never would have thought to test it had I not been there. And that's what you're supposed to do, is to think of more questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if something doesn't seem true. You know, because you might be getting a real signal, but it may not be saying what the thing that isn't true. It may be saying something else that you just aren't hearing. So, okay, does anybody else have any lessons to suggest to Michael?
Lessons. Let's go look. Gonna go look to them.
What kind of lessons?
Did somebody ask what kind of lessons?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Mommy doesn't know about the college.
Oh, Michael is a member of a college on the web that we put up. And it's full of lessons.
Oh.
That's why we call it a college. So, he'll show you, Michael, you can show her on the computer after the meeting. You can show her what it looks like, okay?
Okay.
Like, show her the lessons that you're doing.
Trauma lessons.
By the way, when people suggest lessons later, when you go to do them, you should just test, you know, whether they're good right now or not, and if not, you test them again later.
Well, one of the other things we talked about simply bring an eye, virtual reality.
Okay, write that down. Do
Virtual reality, right. Yeah, we did unravel lesson 10, skill 10, unravel the pathological matrix. It's about relationships and definitely virtual reality. What's when you said the veil?
remove the veil.
Remove the veil.
There's a series of talks, I think, on virtual realities. So
Maybe you have to look again and reorganize all these.
look in the table of contents of talks and search for virtual realities. Also, there's a lesson, I know that, on virtual realities. It's in the list of lessons. You can find it that
The
way.
good news is that the simulation is now in MP3. That's the talk. That's the virtual reality simulation. authentic and inauthentic pathological virtual reality simulations with one your good to change through an MP experience. Downloadable, right click.
Franny,
I'm sorry.
we can't really hear you very well, and also, Barb, go on mute, because you're making all these banging noises.
Oh, sorry.
I said that there's a talk for the virtual reality simulations, and it's one of the ones that was made into an MP3 that's downloadable. You right click.
Okay, I've got all these suggestions, thank you.
You'll definitely cure some things if you do those, or listen to them, or whatever. You know, I hear a noise, somebody's in the background. Who's that?
Michael's area.
Oh, is that your place, Mike?
There's a little bit of noise. Right there it was. I
Well,
can tell by whose screen lights up.
there was a point where you were talking about, like, how religions push dogma on people, you know, and you were wondering if we do that. And the thing is that we don't actually have a belief system. However, I have a feeling that it's possible that some of our members might tend to turn things into belief systems, and the only thing that would stop them from doing that is testing. Like, you can't maintain a belief system if you test. So, for example, you know, like religions believe in monogamy, and then other ones believe in polygamy, like the Muslims and the Mormons. I guess the ones beginning with M, believe in polygamy. And M comes not too far before P, so maybe that's why.
We're just all opinionated, that's all.
But you know, they have belief systems about these things, and they do push them on people and tell them that if you have multiple partners, you're going to hell and stuff like that. And that got me thinking about Buddhism, Michael. What do you know about Buddhism?
Oh, it's one of the great monotheistic religions.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say it in a nutshell, but it's a whole different, philosophy. It's a more, I'm not an expert, I know it's monotheistic and
How do Buddhists relate to belief systems? Do you know?
no, I'm not sure.
Well, in real Buddhism, there are no belief systems.
Okay.
Like if you read a book on Zen or well, anyway, there's they don't tell you like any belief systems, but like a lot of my Japanese friends have told me that they've observed me and they think that I'm extremely superstitious. And the reason is that there are a lot of belief systems. See, as you go farther down the totem pole, you get these people further out in the religion who believe in all kinds of things. Like they have these complex theories about what happens to the spirits of the dead and all. And, like I won't put chopsticks across a bowl because it's considered like, like it's a harbinger of doom to do that. And
You still got that wrong, Bart. It's when you stick your chopsticks in the bowl.
well, this is what Rube told me, okay? He saw my chopsticks stretched across a bowl, and he's standing at the sushi bar, and he says, "You're scaring me, you're scaring me." I said, "What do you mean?" Then he said, "Well, Franny, please don't talk
That's you're
across..."
pointing the chopsticks at him. You can't point the chopsticks at him. They're pointing a knife at someone.
Well, that's another one. Yeah, there's just there's a lot of them like that.
Well, maybe he was stabbed with a job today. I'm like kidding.
I'll tell you, you guys, now that I've been thinking about it for a couple minutes, I realize I do think I know something about Buddhism that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Okay.
That Buddhism has some similarities to Christianity. One of them, of course, is that it's monotheistic, but another similarity is that I believe that Buddhism views sort of, how would I say it, sort of like pleasures of the flesh, like sexual desire, as being an interference, as being an obstacle to connecting with the divine. So hence we have the Buddhist monks, of course, who are celibate, and the idea, and I guess it seems like this is the belief system, is that by being celibate and not involving themselves in sexuality and sexual energy, they can have a better path to the divine.
Well, let me put a little perspective on this. Buddhists are, like, generally they try not to touch their feet or their shoes with their hands, which is why they wear so many sandals, and they take them off outside and put them on when they leave and so on.
Yeah.
Now, there was a Zen master named Joshu who, to make a point, picked up his shoes and put them on his head and walked out.
Yeah.
So, you see, there's an example of that, like the top guy saying that belief systems are not real, where the other monks, they would just never touch their shoes. To them, that was real. Am I making any sense?
I think, by the way, we were just joined by Melody, who's back there.
Hi, Melody.
Hey guys. Hey Melody. Cool. Hi.
And we had a request from here to further explain what you were just saying. We don't quite understand the point you were just making.
Well,
about the shoes, the sandals with shoes.
okay. What I'm trying to say, I don't like, if you look at the way we dialogued on Twitter, people would make points about polygamy being dysfunctional, and then you would point out things that were dysfunctional about having a single partner. And your points were virtually, I would say, as valid as the other ones. Like, one of the things I said was that they don't write love songs about people with multiple partners. And then what you said was, well, yeah. And, love songs are full of dysfunctional, smarmy, I don't remember all the words you used, but, like junk. They're all these people pining for the person who was unfaithful to them and so on. It's just...
Yeah, most of the songs about attachments, 95%.
Yeah, they were down, way down on the scale of relatedness, down around 3, So, see, the point is that, yes, absolutely. And when you cure things, who knows where you'll be? Like Krishna was a manifestation of God. And he had all of these concubines, women who, he had sex with and they loved him and so on. And this went on for, people still worship Krishna, They don't generally have a lot of concubines and stuff. It was something that I guess that only Krishna was supposed to do, but I'm not that familiar with that particular religion. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is that you can't, like if I told you, find a significant other, choose a life partner, stay with one person, and you'll get well. I'd be lying to you, because you wouldn't probably cure anything by doing that. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Like all of those.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that I'm in the process of curing things by going through this process that I'm doing. Like I'm showing up here in this community that you call the Cure Drive, and I'm saying how I can. The reason I'm here is because I'm looking for opportunities to. One reason is looking for opportunities to cure things about myself. So I'm realizing now that one of the ways that one of the things I need to cure is my tendency to intellectualize and position myself intellectually as a way of avoiding uncomfortable emotional experiences.
Good.
And it's uncomfortable for me to be a lone voice in a crowd, or to be not accepted, or to be disagreed with. And I understand that everybody in this community in the Cure Drive is not unified in their opinions, and I'm going to run into differences of opinion. I'm going to run into people here who believe in monogamy, and people that don't, and people that believe in all kinds of things. And so this is a microcosm of the world, and that I have two, in general, to make it black and white, I have two ways to deal with it. It's like take a position and then put everyone in a castle and throw them away. These people are no good because I'm right and they're wrong, and that's what I always have done in the past, and that keeps me very isolated, which I'm not happy about. So I'm looking for a cure here, which is the ability to stick to my opinions, even though they may be different, and not throw other people away or not distance myself just because of that, and to find a way, which is more complicated than withdrawing, and maybe more uncomfortable than withdrawing, to find a way to be part of the community and to stick to my opinions and be myself and not be confrontational about it, and just be myself and find my way in a softer way without abandoning myself. So that's what I'm working on now.
Well, let me give you I'll just make up something to give you as a metaphor, okay?
Yeah.
Suppose you have a buddy who has 5 girlfriends and you have 5 girlfriends. And you talk to this friend of yours frequently. Now, at some point, let's say you decide that for you, the thing that creates the strongest God connection is to surrender, to give your heart to some woman, and not have any other girlfriends, because you want her to feel absolutely secure that you're with her for life. You guys are partners. Anything she needs, you're going to be there. You don't have other relationships distracting. Whatever it is, who cares? It doesn't even matter. But you've decided this is something that is good for her, and you want to give it to her out of like pure selfless love, even though you don't actually care about her being faithful to you that much. You'd be fine if she went out and had sex with other guys, but you decided you need to express your love by being here for her. And your friend, of course, he hasn't changed at all. Like, he still has his 5 girlfriends, and so you meet for a beer the next night, and you tell him this new thing, and, he's pretty, okay, but he just says, hey, Michael, you're doing what you think you need to do, and that's great. And for your part, if you've actually cured something, and you're really doing this because you feel like you need to do it, and you're expressing something in you by doing it, you're not going to care that he has 5 girlfriends. You're not going to be envious of him. And wish, oh gee, I wish I had my girlfriends back. He's having so much fun, So this is what it looks like to cure something, and you know, the opposite could be true too. It maybe, you know, you may find that, you know, being cured means that it's fine not to have a relationship and just, you know, sleep around or whatever. You do, you know, have a bunch of steady girlfriends, and nobody can predict that. But what I know is that as you cure things, you can predict that you will evolve in various ways. You can't really predict what you'll evolve into, but you will evolve.
Right. Well, what I'm aware of is it's one thing to elect to either have 5 girlfriends or have 1 girlfriend, and it's another thing to have a charge about it. And I realize if I have a charge, separate from what I elect to do, there's a charge for me, and I want to prove something, and I want to argue about it, and I want to prove myself right and prove other people wrong. And that's the part that I want to cure.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here saying, oh yeah, I want to change and become monogamous, or I want to change and become Christian, or I want to change and become this or that, or grow my hair or anything. I want to work on why I have such a charge around the choices I make, and that other people don't make the choices I make. So that's what I'm working on. It's going to take me a little while, and I can't finally, you know, work that all out now in the next 5 minutes, but I am showing up and acknowledging that that's what I'm working on.
You know, I think that that's also what people interacted with you about. I don't know how much people were actually saying that you should be faithful to one person, although Rosella seemed to be. Like, she was, well, I don't know if she was just saying, you know, that it's, like, her opinion was that it's good for you to have one person who you really love in this really special way. But I think that people were relating to the mental quality of what you were doing more so, and seeing that as something to cure. So I think you're really on the same, you know, like, wavelength as everybody else.
Yeah, I'm feeling that now. I feel like there's been sort of our paths, like me and the other people in this group have kind of come closer together. But I just want to stop for 1 second, because Melody and Poppy were sitting in the back. A few minutes ago, they wanted to say something, and no one heard them because they're sitting so far back. So I want to give them a chance. I know, Poppy, did you have something?
Well, I was just going to say that, you know, I came across things in their situation.
Speak up.
Could you
Come up closer, come up closer.
Or top close?
Maybe come closer, can't see you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Just because you can camera back. And Melanie, you should come up too.
Hi.
Thank you. We can see you.
The thing is that I come across
Someone doesn't see you. There you go.
similar situations, and that's where I want to, you know, argue a point, even when it's like not even important. Like, I actually wanted to stop myself and just listen to that person, and not always have to have the analytical side of myself be, you know, right, and try to teach somebody all the time. Because sometimes you're not going to be able to teach people at all. And so I can relate to Michael, what he's going through right now, and that I need to stop doing that as well. I'm learning a little earlier in my life, and so I'm hoping that it can like go away.
So what I'm learning, so it sounds like we have the same tendency to intellectualize and want to prove our point to be right. And what
It's more of a defense too.
Right.
At times, because when people are attacking you for who you are and your belief system, you know, you're not always going to be able to explain it because they can understand. And so I'm learning that. That's important that, you know, hey, there's just somebody that they're going to leave and let it go because it's not that important to me.
I want to ask something. Can everybody understand her because I'm having a little trouble understanding. I can't hear all the words. There's like some kind of noise
You're
there.
awful, and y'all should be on mute, and, yeah, Barb, there's noise in your, yeah.
I didn't really. I can't really say that I actually caught what you
I heard a
said.
lot of it, but not the I heard that you related to Michael's situation, that you were sort of clearing similar situations. Not the issue of just proving a point where it wasn't necessarily the, it was just the principle of the thing that you, and that kind of concerned you, that you didn't want to get caught in that way of being. Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're getting yourself caught up in the whole world letting us down.
Right.
You know, understanding and judging and just,
Yeah, so it gets to be more of an ego situation rather than
right, totally.
you have to find clarity or harmony or something. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen too. That's the
Well, I
issue.
think, so,
That's right, I think you're on to it.
yeah, I think, I think what I'm getting to, it sounds like it's also, we're probably getting to, which is that it really doesn't matter what people think. And so the question is, why is it so important, like for me, why is it so important to prove that I'm right? There's something else going on.
Right.
There's a potential cure in there for me when there's this charge for me around being right, that it doesn't matter if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is what's the charge for me and what do I need to cure? What it is that I'm covering by trying to prove that I'm right.
Yeah, what other people think doesn't matter.
Right, it really doesn't.
Barb, go on mute.
And do this like teachings and that they say that, you know, once you get, reach enlightenment, those opinions don't matter anymore. They just kind of just melt away and you just become what you are, what you're supposed to be. And then other people around you start to act the same because they can see it in you. They stop that judgment and just be like, there's no point in trying to boost our egos all the time. Because what we're taught in society is, how pretty we can look and how muscular we can be. And how big my house is, my car, and blah, blah, blah. And I've just learned to, let go of a lot of materialistic bullshit because it just doesn't matter, and that opinions just don't matter to me because but, there are times that, especially in my relationship, I will get defensive, because I'm trying to explain to him that, where I'm at in the relationship and he's not there, and so it's, difficult, at times just to let it go and let it be what it is.
Well, if not caring what other people think means you're enlightened, then I reached enlightenment a long time ago.
Part of it. Only a part.
That's why we have so much trust in you.
Oops.
No, seriously, because we said that you don't have an agenda to be right, so you're easy to follow, you're easy to trust, you're easy to open to.
Yeah, well, I really don't know this stuff, I mean, that's why I'm not right or wrong. It's more a matter of I don't know, just every time I start to have an opinion, I start to think, well, gee, there's all these facts that you don't know anything about. And then I think, well, maybe I should find out all those facts, and then I'd at least know if I was right, and maybe I could form a more right opinion. And then I think, yeah, but do you really want to do all that work, of finding out all that stuff? Or would you rather just go in the pool or something, go to the wildlife area and walk around? And I think, yeah, maybe I'll do that, And so I never get myself to the point where I can actually, have any certainty that I'm right about anything.
Well, we are all the center of our own universe, so you're always right yourself.
Well, thanks for saying so. And you know what? As Barb says, too, she says, thank God for the hub, which is the hub of the web college, which I asked Michael to show you later, because people can test through the hub for themselves, and they can find out things about themselves without me having to know those things first and tell them, which is what, see, I used to be a shrink, and like, shrinks always believe that they have to know more about the patient than the patient knows about himself. And that was like, such a pain in the ass, because even if I did, it didn't matter, because people don't change anyway when they're in therapy. Usually they never change. So, like, they have to go to Tony Robbins to change. So I just, I got out of that after 3 years. I couldn't stand it. I only did that for 3 years, in the 1970s. Anyway, okay, Franny's guffawing back there because I knew her then. In fact, Franny was one of my patients back when I was a shrink. But that is another story for another time. Okay, so onward to... Franny was also my co-therapist at times when I was back in those days. Anyway, back to... Maybe we should say the next prayer. What do you think about that? Keep on schedule. Michael, are you ready to say the gravitational strengthening prayer?
Okay, sure.
All right. Let's do that. Here we come. Gravitational strengthening or bust.
Gravitational strengthening. Feng Shui. Purpose of doing this is to attract Qi. The Qi will then perform unique actions of its own. When you do these actions, do them for your family and soulmates too. These prayers are really about connecting with other people. They go beyond the self. I just made that up.
Mm-hmm.
And I get my signal. I accept God's wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the spirit.
I attract grace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract guidance and guidance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I attract knowingness and wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract the experiences I need so I can learn what I need to learn to do God's work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've installed discrimination between things, that is to say, people, activities, and locations, that win and ones that don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I've installed a reflex to drop the ones that don't win, even when I'm succeeding with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I've installed a reflex to do the ones that do win, even when I'm a beginner at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm installing a reflex well on solution.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I fulfill the hopes of my parents and ancestors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm merging my results bodies with parents and ancestors. Think of at least 6, but not anyone in this meeting here.
Yes.
Just 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm removing and installing the right factors.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I'm doing doing these prayers for my family, loved ones, and soulmates, as well as for myself.
Yes.
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 I attract money and other wealth.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract tools to fulfill my mission.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract technologies to fulfill my mission.
Yes.
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 I attract respect.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract stewards.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract fame.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract health, wellness, and longevity.
Yes.
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 I attract remedies and antidotes to dysfunction.
Yes.
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 I attract faith.
Yes.
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 I attract gratitude.
Yes.
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 I attract fun.
Yes.
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 I love fill in the blank. Unconditionally.
Butterscotch. Oh, okay.
That was a person that you filled in, by the way.
I attract the love of my life.
I attract the love of my life.
Yes.
I let in love and nurturing.
Yes.
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 I attract my children and students.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract astute or needed units.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract powerful, benevolent allies.
Yes.
I attract people who appreciate and support me and my mission.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract people who will connect me to the people I need to talk to.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract innocent people.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract forgiveness.
Yes.
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 In the last 5 minutes, I become a bigger person.
Yes.
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 Say that every 5 minutes for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Get to sleep.
I attract worldwide awareness and use of them units.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I'm leaving behind everything that slows me down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I want nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I've done enough of Unix on myself today to create a critical mass.
Yes.
Yes.
You haven't got a signal yet, then there.
Well, that's, we've been doing, how long have we been doing this prayer, these prayers? Over time, really, I've had changes, big changes. It's much quicker, everything's quicker and less immediate and profound. Like Michael in LA was always saying that this prayer really got him going.
Oh, Michael in L.A. Right, I remember.
There he went.
There he went. That's right, Butter. There he went. That's true.
I thought he was doing that as a joke. He was walking away.
I was thinking, like, when Michael was putting on his Facebook page about not reading his girlfriend's letter, Michael had that thread to get on Facebook about your ex-girlfriend you want to break up again. She wrote you the long letter, and then you only want to read the first paragraph. I was thinking my relationship with Greg was kind of like that. Like Greg jumped in that thread and said something, and I read like the first sentence or two of what Greg said. Oh, it's just Greg. Greg. Like I've been regular city here.
Barb, I know, I do the same thing too.
It wasn't like we broke up or anything. It's just like I said, a relationship. He stopped listening after the first paragraph. Doesn't mean we don't love each other.
Well, I've known Barb for like 30 years now. 1983 or something like that. 1980, yeah.
You know how he says my work.
Yeah.
When he appeared in the thread, I knew my work, I worked with Doug. Doug was on the job.
The thing is that a long time ago, a mentor of mine told me that just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean you have to answer.
True, that's true.
So, just if someone writes me a letter doesn't mean you have to read it.
That's true. Take the pressure off. I know Janice McMahon wrote me like an 8-page letter after she became, she was a person who like was so committed to hearings and help the started in one come, totally transformed that thing and started singing the Santa Fe. And something happened when I was with Celeste and Caitlin. And for some reason she became disgruntled and went home. But then she wrote me this long letter and I received it in the mail. I read about half the first page and I tore it up.
Yeah, what's the point?
I couldn't think about that.
I spent a lot of time rereading letters from like 1968, 1972 from his girlfriend. And you learn things that you weren't able to see.
I know, I kind of wish I had that letter now. I probably would have.
I think it was hard for me to read those letters then. Very difficult.
It was something I learned,
And I learned a lot more at the beginning. Like people go back to watch a movie again or go back to see a play you haven't seen, even though they do the same old crappy plays and things.
Yes, we can let in what we can let in. But then again, there's people that you live with and ones that you don't too, so. There's that aspect.
Well, it's one thing if you're unable to read a letter because you're dysfunctional, you just can't face something. But another thing, if you already know, I mean, it should be very easy to read or just get it. like when I'm talking, Byron at some point just start talking, and I say, okay, he knows what I'm saying. Generally so, but sometimes I have to say, Byron, listen.
No, he's enlightened and he doesn't care about what you're doing.
Right, he doesn't care. I understand that.
Anyway. Okay, let's go do the next prayer, and I'm gonna distract you from your mission there, Michael.
Let's see, is there anything else to
We
speak?
finished with gravitational strengthening. Now we're in the the normal interlude.
Oh, and I'm gonna
The
leave.
interlude.
How are you doing, Melody?
I'm doing fine, listening to it.
Getting anything out of all this?
I find it really interesting.
Yeah, this is that college I was telling you about, mostly about, I think you would appreciate those definitions.
I mean, I just came back from this co-parenting class thing, and I just got back from it. That's from always like the end of 7:15, if I'm rushing over here.
Yeah.
And today, to kind of talk about that, and talk about detaching your emotions when you're communicating with your co-parent. So that it's not hard. I actually feel very attached to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I don't get charged, I'm really good at not getting charged someone.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
congratulations.
One small step for, was it Melody or Pop? Melody, and one small and great leap for me.
You know,
Just
I must
whatever's
say,
right there, any little step, any big step, little step. I mean, often just a big step seems little when they take the next one. So, oh, that was over there, now I'm here. So, I'll just take whatever step there is. That's
I
great.
mean, yeah, it's been, I feel really, really powerful right now. Like really, really strong and powerful. Like this world seems like you have so many possibilities, and I'm just loving it. I'm loving it.
So, what's gone? What did you get rid of? Now that you've got this.
Well, I got a new phone, so when I got this new phone, I thought nobody's contacts in it.
I meant you about you, not your phone.
Yeah, that's what
She lost all her contacts, it's a good
Oh,
thing.
right.
I detach myself from a lot of old contacts that
Nice, that's smart, that's cool.
that's a very interesting thing to
Took
get rid
away
of.
your phone, got rid of your.
came in,
No.
which is nice. So those are people who want to talk to you, the people I'll call.
That's good.
That's a very, very interesting thing you just said. It's just, I just cleared lots of people out of my life. I love it. That's what everybody needs to do that. You know, you get clutter. You know, there's clutter of people.
Plus, people, it's life.
Like energy.
Yeah.
You take this energy on that, it's not serving you, it's not working for you, but you hold on to it, you hold on to it. And you think that it's serving you, and it's really like a big old suitcase on your back, it's just like a hoarder.
You know, they hoard all these things where they feel like, you know, they have to travel with stuff that there's lost in their life because they haven't dealt with it.
Right.
So they have to keep on accumulating, and you're adding more and more and more, and actually it's just adding more crap to your life.
Yeah.
We talk about, you know, here's a little model. You have a decimal point, and if you're adding numbers to the right of the decimal point, it's just more stuff and stuff. It never adds up to one. You want to add the good stuff, which is on the other. It's not quite apropos, but you don't want to add crap. You want to add good stuff that's functional or really good, that takes you forward. You got to know the difference between the two.
Well, that's what it is though, that's the whole working part process, is that you think that you're working on an internal emotion, so it hooks you. And you have to release, you have to let go of a lot of stuff, and you have to like really ground yourself and know that's not serving you.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's like a trickster. It's a life, you know, even though it seems crazy, it's emotionally and mentally, it tricks you.
Have you learned to test yet?
No,
You want to test things. That's what we're talking about. You test things. It's beyond, you know, just thinking about it and trying to figure it out.
So how do you test it?
How do you test it?
How do you test?
Well,
You know what? I have an idea. Michael will show the two of you how to test after the meeting. What we should do, we should say the noosphere prayer.
all right.
And I'll just give you one little hint about it. You look for a signal coming through one of your hands, like a little finger twitch. with
Involuntary signal.
it's involuntary. Yeah, with each prayer, with each thing that Michael says, see if you get that little twitch. And Michael, you could show them what yours looks like, and see if you can help them get signals on the noosphere prayer. And let's heal the planet, complete the meeting, and then you guys can have brush up lessons with Michael. How about that?
That's cool.
Okay.
All right.
Well, one little hint before the noosphere prayer, I found, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if this is right or not, but the more you really relax, you relax your arm, like if you're standing or if you're sitting and you let your arms drop, so you're not holding, and you let your fingers kind of naturally go where they go, and you're not holding them anywhere, then you're most open to getting the signal, because then when you get a twitch, it came from somewhere. It becomes if you were expressing, you were using your muscles or something.
Right.
You don't use your muscles and let the signal come. Is that right, you guys? Is that right?
Yeah,
Larry?
that's good.
Yeah. So then it's, like when I relax my hand, my thumb kind of naturally comes in like a light contact with my, like a middle finger.
Right.
And right as I relax it there, and I get a signal, it twitches. It's right there, that contact twitches. So that's my way of doing it. So we'll practice afterwards. So now I'll do the notes here first.
Okay.
Okay, so the noosphere global healing prayers, again, you don't just say them, but you do them, okay? This is just suggestions, these are things that you say, but then you do it. So when I get my signal, I'm raising the noosphere to the 27th dimension.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm removing all pathologies from the noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm adjusting the particle indexes of the noosphere so that they are in balance and at full strength.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm adjusting the meridians of the noosphere to create a free and balanced energy flow.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm adjusting the chakras of the noosphere to be at full function.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All the bodies of the noosphere are at full function.
Yeah.
Yep.
The noosphere is unswitched and headed in God's direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm removing all impressions from the karmic body of the noosphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm removing terrorism from the gravitational and spiral bodies of the noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm removing the tendency to use biological weapons from the gravitational and spiral bodies of the noosphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm merging my higher bodies with others who understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
and removing any predisposition in the noosphere toward disease.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All the bodies of the noosphere are one rainbow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am now asking the forgiveness of everyone I've ever harmed or will harm by not making Immunix available to them faster.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they've heard and received my request in their results bodies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And they have forgiven me.
Yes.
Yep.
Doing this helps them discover Immunix for themselves without me needing to be better in order to give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's the noosphere prayer.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. That's marvelous. It's really been a very pleasurable evening. And Michael, I do have to say that you're an inspiration to me.
Thank you.
You sincerely want to, cure whatever it is you have to cure. Anybody else have anything to say before we close?
Thank you, girls, for coming. Have you had a lot of support?
Good being with you, all of you, women and men. Thank you for coming.
Yep. Yeah.
And let's link our results bodies, meaning our celestial, gravitational, and by the way, Melody and Poppy, we're doing this with you, even if you don't know what it is. So, if you feel something, somebody gooses you in your gravitational body, that's the that was just Barb there. Okay.
However, use long distance.
Well, good night, sweet. This is the Cure Drive Cult homepage. You can see we tally our cures. That's the tally there, 132,000. You report your cures here, right here. That's the link to report your cure. Okay, this is the movie that people start with generally. And there's a lot of people actually curing things on camera in this movie and demonstrating exactly how to do it. It's 4.5 hours. So you would be able to probably understand and know what these people are doing by watching this. We are a cult because we're all over the world. Maybe one person in a town, just one little guy who cures things in a whole town full of people who don't, whose spouse thinks she's crazy because she's curing things and he doesn't. She doesn't get sick and he's down with the flu for 5 days and he still thinks she's crazy. We've had spouses die. So this person is demonstrating curing herpes in this movie, the one you're watching right there. And it goes on like that. Now, these are the people here. You see this black area here? This is our Twitter feed. These are the people you want to talk to. And what you do, see, it says follow Cure Drive. And that's what you do. You click on that, and then you pick somebody. Anybody in here will be happy to help you. So you write to people that you see in here. And there's all these people all talking about what they're curing. So that's what you do. You pick somebody that, you know, that seems like a kindred spirit, presumably, and you write to them. See that picture of the cat there? That's Rosella. She's one of the people whose spouse died. He was a very great guy. He just thought it was nuts. Never did it. Died of cancer. Not too long ago, about 2 months ago. So anyway, you just, you write to somebody and, tell them what you are trying to do. People are always asking about negative medical tests. Here, let me show you. This is a voicemail message. You should probably, if you're interested in getting a negative medical test on, let's say, herpes. She got negative medical tests and both kinds of herpes. And she left me this message when she got her letter from the, hospital, I guess. She was in New Zealand. So her tests are free. Now, of course, there's an enormous website behind this homepage. I guess you're probably guessing, right? And if you see these movies, these are all people demonstrating curing various diseases. These people chose to contribute their cures to your effort to cure yourself. There are around, I guess, over 800 movies, and some of them are linked to this page. So if you click on any one of these pictures, it will go to a movie, and that movie will start playing. So join the cult. Your friends will be worried about you. You're in a cult, they'll be worried. You have the crazy idea that you can cure medically incurable diseases. They're going to be very concerned. Especially if you're battling cancer. Your friends will be worried, and that's a good thing. You will cure things. And that is also a very good thing. You will begin curing things the moment you join, because that's how you join. You cure something. When you cure something, you're in the cult. If you want to get out of the cult, just stop curing things, and you won't be in the cult anymore. Easy to exit. Your easy exit strategy. And who knows? You may even cure the medically incurable disease that you came in here to cure. A lot of us did. That's me there in the movie holding forth on how to cure things. I'm on the cure team. That's what I did. I cured a medically incurable disease. Two of them, actually. So I cured 2 kinds of herpes. It was about 4 months after I started doing this that I actually discovered, I'm the person who discovered that you could cure physical diseases. July 1993, my 20th anniversary just passed. I haven't had an outbreak of herpes for 20 years, and before that, I was having outbreaks for 28 years. I got herpes in 1965, at the end of the year. 28 years of outbreaks, followed by 20 years of no outbreaks. That's how bad it can be and how good it can be, if you let it be good. So, take the courageous step that almost everyone you know will advise you not to take. Join the cult. When you're in the cult, your friends will get sick and you will get well. Your friends will give sympathy and you will give cure. And you'll know that you don't even need to take a vitamin pill to cure something. You can just cure it with nothing. Just with you. What can you contribute? What will your contribution be? This woman is curing a flu right on camera. She came in with full symptoms and they were all gone in 15 minutes. You can see it happen. Flu is an incurable viral-based disease. It's medically incurable. She cures it right in front of you. We eagerly await your contribution. And here they are, eagerly awaiting your contribution. And anything that you say to any of these people will probably be a contribution of some kind.